Hi, this is Aksha. So I am now starting the series of sharing my work with you all. Yes, of course, with my previous video, with my previous post on LinkedIn, you can already see that there are three tiers of services that I'm providing. First is the visual storytelling when it comes to the landing page and copywriting. Second is definitely the LinkedIn content creation in order to bridge that gap between the professional side of a person and also their personality, because I do think they can be meshed in together. And third thing is the pitch deck, apart from all the technical side that a company really needs when they want to show to their clients. There needs to be a story, a way of telling their journey that connects, right? So, even though all these three tiers are really important, it's also important to make sure the strategy that is required for in order to reach and be able to execute properly. So, when I got my previous experience has been working with either early stage companies or the companies already in their growth stage, but due to stagnation or due to some other issue they have been facing, they weren't able to excel or expand in a way that they hoped. So that's why my strategy when it comes to learning about the company, setting that goal is always in depth. So in order to not only understand the company, but also what they provide based on research and what you can learn about people who have been within the company for a longer period. So the company research that I'm going to be sharing with you, of course, I'm going to be sharing the sheet so you can have a better idea. But I am going to take you through when it comes to that primary research and when it comes to secondary research. So this was an experiential agency, so you can say a martech agency. And in that, I first of all, since it's a very close-knit company, I worked on understanding the CEO's vision, mission, and what are his motivation and inspirations when it comes to the company, and also people who have been with him for a longer period of time. I mean, even if it's been months, there are a lot of insights that people can gain. So I'm just going to take you through those three sheets. I'm going to be sharing those with you definitely, but it will be just me talking about my work and flesh. Okay. So one second, let me just share the screen. Yeah. Okay. Okay. It does look like the screen is sharing. So first is the CEO interview. So it took us days in order to get done with this, because when a company is working, it has been working on sales for so long. Um, there comes a time that they really want to see their image that has been built up. An image cannot be generated from AI or generated from just with the clients. It's highly dependent upon where the idea was started, where the journey is going, and how it basically ties in together. So first of all, what I did was I methodologically I arrange everything. First is idea generation. So idea generation, so how the idea started, how his previous work led him to this idea, and if there has been moments, because sometimes you might not be working in the direction that you have set up a foundation of. But sometimes there would be instances where you realize, okay, this is, for example, my true calling. So when it comes to idea generation, so whole idea, previous job, and to be very, very honest, although these are very questions, but as you probe in, there's some just, you know, amazing insights that are pure gold that you receive that would tie in the story really well. Like, for example, with this company, I was able to know, although the CEO wasn't studying this, the technology part when he was in ninth grade, but on the side, he loved creating and using tech and working on it. So, a ninth grade boy, how he didn't even know if something like this would ever exist, and now being like 29, 30 years old, he's able to transform that into a name. So that idea, and then I moved into the current position of the company. So where company at is at right now, the project doing, and also like how the project has been divided in terms of all the people that were there, and also, for example, the project they are most proud of the successful projects and the projects that failed as well, because even though you are here to build that image for the company, you need to have an insight into how the team works, and this really helps discovering that. Then it comes to team, since it was a close knit team. So I wanted to understand their strengths, their weakness, how the project divided, how are they work, are they like a team that works together? There's a team that everyone just handles their own department. Then client relations, since I was a marketing and sales manager. Even if sales would not have been a part of it, I would still have included the relations. And the only reason is that it really helps not only for the CEO, but for a person like me who would be working on branding, to see if the client really is interested. And how not only how the clients find them, and if there's word of mouth, what are the words that client use for your words. So this just set the pillars of the foundation. And then brand personality, definitely my favorite part, because it's just dive into the creativity in the most amazing level. Like, first question that was quite of a brain teaser. It was, how would you describe your company? What kind of personality would you give? And can you describe the company as a person? So when you describe as a person, you might dig into clothes, you might dig into expression, you would give into personality. So it reflects how visually you want this to be represented, right? Now moving on to one of the people who worked, that was a graphic designer, and that's basically how I went through his whole process. But definitely, when it comes to CEO, when it comes to graphic designer, a lot of things, of course, is going to differ. But my main aim was that to move strategically, how we can approach this. So, in it, of course, his creative process, his styles, his preferences, but also like if he even wants to include more work when it comes to working for the company. And for his own brand building, would he be willing to be set as a thought leader, and what changes would he want within the company? And to be very honest, I realized that once you sit and you listen, people share more than you know, and you gain amazing insights from them. And then just one second. And then let's move on to the research part. This looks intimidating, but actually not. I just move everything by being very meticulous when it comes to the task, properly, uh, sheet organized so that it's not only clear to me, but clear to the person who will be going through it, right? So first is the global and regional trends. Basically, my method towards is the umbrella method when it comes to researching. First, I look at the higher level, the bigger picture, and slowly and gradually I boil it down to what is closest to the company, right? So first, for example, global trends. So globally, how it's doing, globally, the tech landscape, the consumer behavior, since it was an experiential market company, it was in-person events and also virtual events. So that's how I divided. So after the gaps, after that bigger umbrella part was done, I went into the regional part. So USA, UK, and since this company was Pakistan, then Pakistan. So that bigger umbrella, and then we boil it down so that from every corner we are just highlighting how company can be easily differentiated in the market. And then it comes to experiential marketing, so same umbrella concept. And over here what I've done is that bigger umbrella experiential market overall. It market size adoption, ROI. A lot of people, while I was researching, they had issues that if experiential marketing, this technology are able to produce a good ROI measure for them. And that's one of the key areas I've worked on because it turned out they really could. And then after the whole overarching, parts, I went into like in depth what they provide. So in terms of all the services that include like AR, VR, and microsites and app development. So all of these, and since it was in terms of the end is definitely consumers, so they remember, they have their emotional connection, they have that brand connection with it. So I worked on how the attitude of agencies were and the end consumers were. So it really helps that set the tone in the right way. So that's the research I'm going to share. So just this video is just to give you the whole depth of the marketing of the research process. Then challenges and solution. A lot of time, challenges and solutions just like stick to, for example, that in order to learn, okay, these are the pain points. And if we are going to have a conversation, we are definitely going to touch on these points. But challenges and solutions are so much greater than these small things because they actually set the tone of your website, of your content pieces. Because at the end of the day, you do not want to appear as a company that tells people what they can do and how amazingly they can do stuff. I think that we are living in an environment that people are much smarter and people know what they need and people know whom to approach. So if you're just sharing about yourself, if you're not being authentic enough, people would know. So instead of my strategy, instead of just sharing about the challenges, the solution, it was really important to transform it in the way that how we can answer their problems through content pieces, through landing pages, through even the social media platforms, so that not only we are set as thought leaders, but how we solve their problems and give them an opportunity to be listened to. Yes, for example, there are going to be 5 projects coming in, and 3 of them, or 4, or even all 5 of them would be like something we already solved but people are different. How you converse with them is different. So just just setting that relationship is really important. And I do think these challenges, these research in that really helps. Just highlighting overall the process. So I worked on section and then there was insights and also year. For the recent research, I tried the things that we can easily adapt in the company. So I kept those research articles, the authentic, credible one to be of the years, for example, 2024, 25, 23. So these type of years. But if there's an amazing example that can be used when it comes to having providing those services to any company. And the example is from 1990s. I still would share that because it's good to have insight that what people have been doing and how you can take inspiration from that. Because I just at the end of the day, even if your idea is similar to other people, you have to be different when it comes to execution. And the only way you're going to earn that is through being authentic, is through being understanding who your people are so you can answer their problems and not talk about what your company is all about, how it was built, right? So that's it. That was just the research process, but everything that would come with it that I worked on would be in the further video. So do tune in. I did upload my first podcast of Sit with Aksa. So would love if you guys watch that and share reviews. And other than just stay tuned, I have amazing things planned. And that's it. I'm going to be uploading the second work video soon. Take care.